Oh, you wanna bang on my shit? How about I bang on your shit? Pause. On all that. I was about to say something, but then my throat, I had to burp. It's kind of itchy right now. Hold on. Sup? I'm so tired. Something. Nope. 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 Because you already know. Cluck, what you talking about?
The month of August is full of thunderstorms where I live, which inspired this video topic. Thunderstorms evoke a certain emotion for me, as I used to love watching thunderstorms with my grandfather. Fragrance is something else that's very powerful in evoking emotions and memories. My grandfather had a very distinguishable scent that I still remember to this day. Through Scentbird, I've found many friends.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Which I use daily, one of which being Kinetic by Toomey, a fragrance that reminds me of my grandfather and evokes positive memories for me, with the scent mixing the aromas of Italian mandarin, sandalwood, and vanilla. Scentbird is a monthly cologne and perfume subscription service that lets you discover over 700 designer fragrances without committing to a giant
Damn, that's a lot.
expensive bottle, which also lets you try a new fragrance every month to switch things up. Another one of my favorites is Cross River Gorilla, which has a scent that mixes the aromas of cardamom, green apple, violet leaf, and smoked leather, rated as a casual scent.
Smoked leather. They just pulling out scents out their ass. Jesus Christ. Smoked leather?
Perfect for the fall season. What I love about Scentbird is the affordability. The vials are cheaper than a lot of the roller balls or travel sizes at the store. Scentbird carries some of the finest fragrances like Gucci, Prada, and Versace and delivers them right to your door. You get to try the first fragrance from Scentbird for only $8, and your next month will be only $16.95. If you're interested in trying Scentbird, use my code Mr. Nightmare55 or the link below to get 55% off at Scentbird. You'll get the product for half the price at just $8.
I'm good. I'm the author. When you're walking down the street.
I was at a ripe young age where being left home alone was exciting. I was like 13, and my parents had just recently started entrusting me to be home alone overnight.
Oh yeah?
The only
I guarantee you that shit about to that's not gonna work out no more. I feel like that's not gonna happen no more.
condition was I couldn't leave the house or have anyone over, but I was fine with that. Something about being able to blast my music or video games without my dad yelling at me was just exhilarating. To make things even better, it was a rainy night which turned into a thunderstorm. I sat outside under the awning for a while, watching the thunderstorm as I like to do.
Hell no.
I've always loved thunderstorms, as they just make staying in so much more cozy. After a while of watching the storm, I moved my Xbox from my room to the downstairs den TV.
Xbox? Xbox? You clucking the hell up. If you got an Xbox, you're a cluck ass. I just want to let you know that. PlayStation is where it's at. Cluck.
My dad's huge flat screen TV with the Bose sound system. The only time I'd get to game on there was when I was home alone, and I loved it. The den was a half flight of stairs down from the living room level, and it was level with the backyard, so the backyard door was in the den. I'm describing the house in past tense because I moved out, but my parents do still live there. So I was playing Black Ops down in the den with the volume blasting. I was playing online multiplayer in a party with my friend Cody. I had some crappy old headset, which the only audio you could hear was other people in the lobby and game talking. For a 13-year-old standards, it was the perfect night. Until something interrupted my peace.
Alright.
The sound of the doorbell. It was past 9 o'clock by then. I told Cody the doorbell rang, and he said I should go check and see who it was.
That's clucked up. That's clucked up. Why don't you go check this shit out? You don't understand how much that hurt my throat. I have an itchy throat. And doing what I just did, that was not the smartest.
I wondered if maybe it was my parents back home early, but they had the keys, so they wouldn't ring the doorbell. I hid in a spot in the game where I wouldn't get killed. Then I went upstairs to the front door, asking who's there. I didn't realize how much of a mistake that would be.
No shit.
A male's voice on the other side said, "I need to use a phone." I didn't know what to do.
You need to use a phone? You need to use a phone. There's 30 more other houses. There's 30 more other houses that you could possibly go to and ask for a phone. Nah, but you gotta use mine. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
So I didn't answer and went back downstairs, but it was too late. The damage was done, and I let whoever was out there know I was home. I told Cody about it, and his reaction was simply, "Yo, what the fuck?" He agreed with me that I shouldn't open the door, but the doorbell rang again.
What? Isn't that the same person that said you should go check it out?
Cody said to ignore it. That was the last time I heard the doorbell, and after a while, I relaxed again, as it seemed whoever was out there had left. I can't explain the roller coaster of emotions I felt that night. One moment I'm on edge, the next I'm relaxed and back into the fantasy world of my game. And then, as I was most at ease, I heard something to my right, and when I looked, I saw the back door closing and some tall man stepping inside.
That escalated so fast. That escalated so fast. I don't even think you can do anything at this point. You clucked up.
It was not my dad. It was a stranger. I dropped the controller and ran for the office door, and the cord to the headset quickly ripped out of the controller. I made it to the office and slammed the door shut, and I'm by no means exaggerating when I say the second after I locked the door handle aggressively shook as the man on the other side tried opening the door. The office had 2 doors in it, one that led to the den and one that led to the garage. My only chance to escape the house was to go through the garage. But before even moving, I just stood still, waiting for something to happen on the other side of the door. Seconds felt like minutes. The man knocked on the door and said, "Little boy, I just need to use your phone. I was stranded out in the rain." His knocks...
I don't. Tell me. I know it's been like a week or whatever since I last spazzed out on you. It's not your fault, but it's just like, you know, the video I'm reacting to. But every time I spaz out, probably not every time, but like if the situation, like, yeah, if the situation calls for it, I'm getting my ass out the seat and I'm going to your face and I'm spazzing the hell out. It's nothing personal. I just, you know. I'm sorry, Toby Adams. What? I'm sorry, Toby Adams. It's just the way it is.
Into pounds as his voice got louder and angrier sounding. It gradually turned to yelling and pounding. He yelled, "Open the fucking door, you little shit," as it sounded like he was literally trying to break down the door. I had no choice but to go through the garage. I pressed the button to open the garage door, and it was so loud and slow to open that I prayed the man couldn't hear it. As soon as it was up about halfway, I crawled under and ran through the storm a few doors down to our neighbor Julian's house, who I knew well because I used to play with his dog Copper when I was little. I heard Copper barking as I rang the bell, looking back at my house, hoping not to see someone coming down the block.
Hey, Copper barking, his barking is translating to, "Hey, don't bring that cluck shit over here."
Julian opened the door, and I ran into his arms, begging him for help, as his wife came out of the kitchen in confusion.
Yo, can you imagine? I'm your neighbor. and I open the door, and you like fall into my arms. You jump into my arms, but I'm not with that club shit. So it's like I open the door, you jump into my arms. Whoo, whoo. You jump, get off me, you blockhead.
When I told them of the break-in, their demeanors instantly changed. Julian got the police on the phone and handled getting them to my parents' house. It was a long, long wait before the police were outside.
That's crazy.
Steve and I went out to them. I told them the same thing I told Steve, and after they asked which door was unlocked, I said the garage. A couple of them went through the garage into the house, and after maybe 5 minutes, they came outside with a man in handcuffs. They made sure he didn't see my face. After he was in a police car, they asked me if I knew that man, and I said no, of course I don't know that man. He had been telling the officers that this was his house and that I was his son. I could tell he was drunk or high or just generally crazy based on the things he was yelling and the way he was acting. He was brought to jail, and my parents had to be contacted regarding how they wished to proceed, and they pressed charges. His name was John McCarty. He got charged for, I believe, criminal trespass. It didn't make me feel any safer, though.
I asked this before. Ew. I asked this before in a video. I just don't know if anybody said anything or if I just forgot what y'all said. But what if like a homeless person invades your house, destroys your property, like destroys a lot of stuff, and you want to, like, I guess, sue? Where is that money coming from? Because the person's homeless. You don't have money. So where is it? Can you not? You probably can't sue, can you? Where is that? Would the money come from the city? Insurance? I don't know.
That man would one day be out and know where I lived. Thankfully, it was just a random chance encounter.
I just realized that's some fucked up shit too, because he moved out. Little boy moved out. But the intruder is probably out and still remembers where that house is. So God forbid your parents are sleeping in the middle of the night, breaks in, it's rats.
I don't believe he specifically targeted me or our house. So whenever he was released, he didn't come back.
I feel like he did. I feel like he was watching out for a minute. I don't know how to say that name. Aria?
I never thought in a million years that anything truly horrific would ever happen to me.
Where you living at? Huh? What planet are you on? What universe are you in? I think every time I leave the house, or if I'm in the house, I feel like shit about to happen at any given time. But the power of God, but the power of Jesus, but the power of the Adidas gods is on my side.
I'm an average person with a boring enough life that anything out of the ordinary was really out of the ordinary. This is why I was always okay with watching or listening to those creepypasta and true horror stories on YouTube. I still do watch them often, but after my own experience, these stories scared me in a whole new way.
Oh, yeah?
It was late at night, I'd say around 4 a.m., but I don't really know for sure, and everyone else in my house was asleep. My mother and both of my grandparents. For the past 2 months or so, we get at least one major thunderstorm per week, and it just so happened that this one decided to start earlier that night. Now, I always enjoy a good thunderstorm, especially at night when you can go sit by a window and just watch the lightning, but something about the wind of them always creeped me out. Maybe the fact that it could be soft or deafening and switch between the two almost instantly, but for some reason, wind has always given me huge creeps. Now, this night's thunderstorm was one of the worst we'd had in a long time. It sounded like rocks were hitting my window all night, but I was enjoying listening to it while I browsed Reddit, as I do, when all of a sudden, the power went out in the blink of an eye. This was kind of...
Not for me! You know why? Because I have Adidas generator. more powerful than a generator you have, more powerful than a hospital generator, more powerful than a White House generator. Adidas generator? Come on with it. Come on with it. That generator is going to last at least 6 generations. There you go. That's insane.
Creepy, but I didn't really mind, because I had my data and a decent charge on my phone, so I continued browsing. After a little while, I started to get tired, so I figured it was time to shut my phone off and get some sleep. I placed it on the side table next to me and rolled over to go to sleep. I guess I passed out shortly after, because I don't remember anything in between the rain hammering at my window and the eerie silence of a soft wind outside. I assume the rain stopped while I was asleep. I rolled over to get more comfortable because my side was hurting, and then I realized just how parched for water I was. I took a few minutes to try and fall back asleep again, but it didn't happen. My mouth was just too dry. I sat up, grabbed my phone, and turned on the flashlight so I could...
What would help a dry mouth? Pause. What would help a dry mouth? Just closing your mouth when you go to sleep and breathing in and out of your nose, right? No. That would help, right? Because sometimes I get caught in mouth, but that's because some nights I sleep with my mouth open. Not like, just like, just slightly open. But I'm just saying.
A source of light to the kitchen to grab a glass of water and go back to bed. As I opened my bedroom door, I was smacked in the face with a blast of cold air. It was freezing in the living room. I quickly threw on a sweater and continued to the kitchen.
Why was it freezing?
As I was nearing it, I could hear the wind becoming louder and the temperature become colder. I reached the kitchen and walked in, grabbed a glass from the cupboard, and started to fill it with water from the tap.
Ew.
I took a quick glance around the kitchen and noticed something weird. The door to the patio was left open.
Shit. Don't cause no scenes. Don't cause no scenes. It's already bad enough that you notice it, but that's it. That's it. Go back upstairs, close the door, and if you can, call the police. That's it. Or nonchalantly be like, oh, I haven't checked the bricks from my house. I'm going to go outside and check it. I don't know, just say something. And then you just go out. You go out.
Naturally, I was weirded out by this and a little scared, thinking of how that could happen. I ended up rationalizing to myself that my grandfather must have left it open early.
Oh my God. I hate the people that be in clutch up situations. And y'all start rationalizing. Y'all start thinking about. Y'all start assuming shit. It is what say what it is. Say what it is. It's you're in a clutch up situation. Get the hell out of there.
That night and just forgot about it.
Wow.
I walked over to the sliding door, glanced over my shoulder out of paranoia, and slid it shut and locked it. I fast walked back to my room just in case. I opened my door and closed it behind me, and then laid back down in bed, my glass of water on my side table and flashlight still in hand. I was able to calm myself down slightly, enough to turn off the flashlight and try to get some shut-eye. Something inside of me wasn't letting me forget the possibility that there might be someone in my house.
No shit. No shit.
I got back out of bed again and slid my chair from my desk to my door in an attempt to keep someone out. I then checked the closet again, just in case. I laid back down again and kept my flashlight on as a sort of nightlight this time. Then, the most disturbing thing that's ever happened to me occurred. I felt a slight bump come from under my bed.
Oh my God.
Accompanied by a creak of the bed springs. I then realized I hadn't checked under my bed like an idiot. It felt like I was gonna vomit, and I leaned off the side of my bed and peered underneath.
Oh God! You know what I would have done if I could have done this? I would have been like Green Lantern or somebody that can like manifest like something physical, you know what I mean? Or just make something out of nothing. Or literally just out of your imagination. I would have had like one of them big ass, sharp ass knives. About this long. I would have got up on my bed ever so slightly, trying to make as less noise as possible. I would have grabbed my knife, my big ass knife, and I would have started going all over the bed. My throat hurts. Is that OD? Or is that within reason? Hey, my life is on the line. I'm in danger right now. You know? I feel threatened. I gotta protect myself, and I best not get no time for this.
I saw the disturbing sight of an extremely unhealthily skinny woman with bloodshot eyes and yellow teeth staring back at me. She was smiling an ungodly grin that I still can't get out of my head. She stared at me for at least 3 seconds while I was still trying to process what I was seeing.
That's a long
before
time.
She, I swear to God, cackled like a fucking witch. At this point, my whole brain was screaming nope, and I leapt out of my bed towards my door, moved the chair as fast as possible, and sprinted down the hall.
I'm clucking her ass up. I'm man. I can't say what I really want to do because I might get banned and I might get a strike on YouTube, but boy.
My grandparents' room. I banged on the door as loud as I could while calling for my grandfather. He was out within seconds and he had a gun in his hand, something he had never even mentioned having.
Wait a minute now. I just realized you live with your grandfather. Hold on now. Now he in cahoots with the old cluck ass that's underneath your bed. Hold on now. You got two old ass niggas, two old cluck ass niggas in the house. That's insane.
The house. He ran to my room, him in front of my grandmother and I, and we just barely caught a glimpse of a white figure running away from the bedroom window. My grandfather took a shot, presuming as a warning to tell them to never come back. We didn't end up calling the police.
I'm not wasting those bullets. If I shoot, I'm making impact. You know what you know, let me slow down. You know what would be dope is if, let's say you have Adidas security, right? And I'm so tired. and an intruder's in your house. I don't know how it got past your defenses. But let's say, I have to fart. Excuse me. But let's say it got past your defenses. It's inside your house. Like whoever or whatever is inside your house with some cluck ass intentions. Excuse me. And they're trying to run away because they got caught. Or, you know, you said that you called the police or whatever and they're trying to run. Right? And you see them heading for the window or for like a door to get out the house. But all you say is, house! Adidas on lockdown. Was literally within 2 seconds. Not even. The house is on lockdown. Kind of like how Iron Man put his whole house on lockdown in Endgame. You know? Yeah. Right before Hawk did the snap, yeah.
Because we figured they wouldn't be able to do anything since we don't have security cameras or have any idea who she even was. All I can guess was that this woman was dangerously ill and saw my bedroom light on before the power went out. I have no idea what her intentions were or if she even knew what she was doing. We're getting the windows and doors in the house installed with locks sometime the next week just for safety. And all I can say is, even if you live in a safe area or a trusted community, bad things still can and do happen. And you always have to take precautions against such things.
I knew that shit. I knew that. I already knew that. Did y'all know that? Hell no. J-Dog, hell no. What's up, dog?
It was August. My girl Cass and I went upstate for a little weekend getaway at my family's rustic mobile home.
You said it was August. I wish it was like, not this August, right? Obviously. Well, I mean, I don't know.
It has running water, electricity, and a toilet. So we call it luxury camping. The home is very small.
Camping is camping. Camping is camping. Camping is camping. Nat. Camping is camping. You know what that means? You are clucked up. Shh. Stop calling camping camping. Call it like... I don't know. I'm trying to merge the word cluck with camp. Clock-imp. I don't know.
600 square feet. One bedroom, one pull-out couch in the living room, one bathroom, and a very small kitchen. Despite its remote location, there's lots to do, including archery, shooting, dirt biking, and off-roading. We had a whole little itinerary planned for the weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Friday, we mostly just unpacked and went out to eat, went grocery shopping, then relaxed. Saturday, we did most of the stuff I just mentioned before, until it started getting really cloudy out, like storm clouds.
That looks insane.
We also could feel it in the air that a big storm was brewing. So we
also you can look down the street and see a big storm coming.
Stuff we took out back into the outbuilding. We put a movie into the DVD player as we cooked dinner. At some point while we were eating, we heard the sudden torrential downpour of rain on the roof of the home.
Why is nobody in these stories mentioning that they checked the checklist? I need some of y'all to mention checking the checklist. Well, obviously, if y'all mention that, then y'all probably wouldn't be on Mr. Nightmare. But y'all, I don't know. We might.
Soon, there were loud...
Like, look at that shit. Look at that. 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 Look at all them damn woods. Lord! Only knows what's in the woods.
Thunderous crashes of lightning almost directly overhead. We both wanted to go sit outside and enjoy it as we ate.
But
We
both.
relaxed on the deck outside under the canopy with an amazing view of the sky. Long bolts of lightning constantly lit up the dark night sky, the thunder booming almost instantly after the lightning strikes. We were right in the heart of the storm. And then we heard something out in the woods. It was a voice, a loud voice, seemingly calling out something, but it was nowhere near discernible. So the place is really remote, like I said. Hearing any other voices nearby would already set off alarms in normal conditions, but during a storm like this, it was extremely concerning. We had to assume that it was a lost hiker or something. I stepped over to the edge of the deck, getting a little wet as the rain blew in under the edge of the canopy.
Pause.
With the constant crashing of thunder and lightning, there were moments of light in the vicinity that allowed me to see just far enough away to the tree line where the woods began. There was a person out there, clear as day. I told Cass, and she instantly freaked out, thinking I was joking and telling me to stop. I considered calling out, asking if they needed help, but just...
You say some shit like that, I'm going in the house. Without no doubt, without no hesitation, with all purpose in the world, I'm hauling ass in the house. And you'll be lucky if you catch me before I lock the door. I'm like, you say that, I'm in the house. I'm in the house. Matter of fact, before you say that, in the middle of you saying that statement, I'm in the house.
I did against it on the grounds that I was kind of scared. This weekend was my idea though, and I did kind of drag Cass up here. I didn't want to ruin the experience freaking her out. I went back to her and said I think it's a hiker. She asked if we should offer some help, and I said not unless they come knocking on the door.
Cassie, get your club. This is alright. Cassie. I have divorce papers on me, right? At all times. I got my phone, my keys, my wallet, and my divorce papers. Say some dumb shit like that again, I promise you it's over.
I told her we should go inside, and I nudged her in. I went back over to the edge of the deck, just out of curiosity. I got even wetter as I looked around, until I spotted something. It looked like a person again, much closer to the deck, like a lot closer, only about 20 feet away now. I continued to look, until a quick flash of lightning briefly exposed a man standing there, confirming my suspicion. He was wearing bright colors and almost looked white. He was just standing still. That was the scariest part. He wasn't even approaching the deck or anything. I went inside and quickly locked the door. Cassidy saw the worry in my face. I felt my heart racing, and I almost felt nauseous. I'm sure I almost stuttered as I said, I don't know who that is. And then I saw the worry in Cass's eyes worsen. I did my best to keep her calm, telling her to expect someone knocking on the door asking for help. I said they probably just need shelter from the storm. I tell you, it was the longest 5 minutes ever, just sitting and listening to the pouring rain and lightning outside, before we felt and heard the footsteps outside on the deck, even over the sound of the storm. The home doesn't have a doorbell, so we expected a knock on the door, but instead, there was this weird shuffling sound on the other side of the lone wooden door. It sounded like attempts at opening it. It was at this point that the worry I had been feeling had peaked. I think I felt an adrenaline rush at this point. Cass was already in the bedroom, hiding at this point, and she was quietly calling for me to come. The noises at the door stopped, but there was never a single knock. I went to the bedroom and told Cass to just remain quiet. I'll be back in the room in a second. I wanted to look out the window. I went back to the living room and turned off the lamp. I took a second to just breathe before yanking the curtain open. I looked out the window, and I saw the white figure of the man running away from the window and quickly disappearing.
Man.
I didn't know what was going on. I hoped that they ran away for good. To be safe, I went to the kitchen window and looked out. This one didn't have a curtain or blinds. I realized about halfway to the window that there was a face on the other side. I could see it even through the blur created by the rain on the window. I yelled at the top of my lungs, "Yo, go away," trying to sound scary. They didn't move. Now when I say this, I know it sounds incredibly cliche, but we don't have Wi-Fi in the home, and the cell reception is very on and off. During a storm...
That's your fucking fault! I'm mad. I'm sorry.
Like this, there was no reception at all for either of us. There was my dad's rifle under the bed in the bedroom, though. I left the kitchen and hurried to the bedroom, where Cass was sitting in the bed biting her nails on edge. I grabbed the rifle under the bed from its case, since we hadn't yet taken it out. There was a magazine already loaded with rounds, thankfully,
Okay.
so I popped the mag in the rifle. Doing this in front of Cass obviously meant I was no longer sugarcoating what was going on, but it didn't matter, because there was suddenly a bang at the bedroom window.
Oh, you wanna bang on my shit? How about I bang on your shit? Pause. On all that.
Something was either thrown or someone straight up banged their hand on it. And then a second later, there was a bang from another window out in the living room or kitchen.
Okay. Bop, 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 bop. Bitch.
It was more than one person. This had gone far enough at this point. I told Cassidy to wait in the bedroom. I went to the front door and positioned myself to be ready to potentially fire at anyone on the other side of the door should they rush me. I quietly unlocked the door, and when I was close enough to mentally ready, I yanked the door open and drew my rifle up, pointing at the door. No one was there, and so I hurried outside with adrenaline controlling my actions and spun around quickly to ensure no one was on the deck. Then I went to the stairway and looked down, and there was that guy in bright-colored clothes standing where he was before outside the window, apparently trying to look scary. He looked up at me. He already knew I was outside, but I doubt he knew I had a gun. I shot the rifle into the air, and I heard the guy yell.
Stop with these missing bullets. Stop with these, not doing nothing with these bullets. You're not hitting nothing. You need to hit. You already know what you need to hit. Stop wasting these bullets.
In a deep voice, "Oh shit," as he ran away into the darkness. I heard at least 2 fading, yelling voices likely communicating to each other, and then it was just the sound of the storm again. I don't know how many people were out there. At least 2, maybe even 3. It could have been teenagers playing some fucked up prank, or it could have been some really messed up people trying to scare us and break in. I don't play around like that though. If anyone came up that deck while I was outside, I would have shot them dead. They were not there seeking help, and that is a 100% certainty. The next day was Sunday, so we packed up and left. There were no signs of anything having been done to my car or the home or anything from the night before. I made sure to lock everything up and take anything of particular value home this time. Out of all the years of my family owning the place, that was the only encounter like this any of us had ever had. It really put a bad taste in my mouth about the place and being in an isolated place. I've been up there a few times since with my family, but I would never, ever go alone.
Alright, here's my thing, right? If you want to be isolated, from everybody, that's cool. That's dope. That's what's up. But it's like, whether you want to be isolated or you want to have neighbors, it's pros and cons. Like it's pros and cons. Like me and wifey, we want our own space on our own land, isolated, but not too isolated. Just like the nearest house is like 5 miles, right? But best believe we are already gonna be set the hell up. It's man. I promise you, when we get to that point, when we have our own house on our own land, it's up. Security out the ass, cameras out the ass, guns, Adidas, the whole 9. To be honest with you, like, if you don't belong on our property, you're going to get clocked up. I promise you that. Like, sorry, that's just the way it is. Yup. If you want to be isolated, that's fine. It's just, it comes with a price. Same thing with having neighbors. You can't trust everybody. It's a lot. It's a lot. Everything has its pros and cons. But I think I'd rather be by myself. But keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy. My family.